At homecoming, I'm scared shitless. I can't talk to her. She's next to me. And she says, you have money for the restaurant we're going to? I go, yeah. For some stupid reason, I pull out my wallet and a condom falls right on our mom's foot, bro.
Give me the cue. Give me the cue.
All right, it looks like we're set. You guys are all set. Everyone's cool.
We're all good.
All right, man. So it seems like we're gonna get ready in 5, 4, 3, 2.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Energy Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Landeros, and behind the scenes, we got Marcos Lopez, aka Research and Development.
Yo.
Guys, thank you so much for everybody that's always supporting us, everyone that's just shouting us out, giving us love. We couldn't do this without you guys. So do me a big favor right now, if you guys haven't already, head over to the YouTube, smash that subscribe button so you never miss a dose of the energy. Before we get into tonight's guest, let's just get some housekeeping stuff out of the way. If you haven't already checked out episode 51, make sure you do so. Shouts out Rossi Rocks, Sebi OG on their new project, Suave City. But now, let's get into the main show. Let's get into tonight's guest.
Hey, but Brian, I don't know if you could do it.
Oh,
I don't
shit.
think you're. I don't. I mean.
You're right. So for this one,
this is high stakes here. I don't think you
for
have.
this one,
I don't think you have the credibility to introduce these
I
guys.
don't. I really don't. So we had to go ahead and outsource this intro. So Marcos, go ahead, hit it. Let's see what we got.
And this week on the Energy Podcast, we have a man who I've so graciously dubbed the walk-on wizard, the Sultan of Single, the South Bay Savant. A man who has started a media conglomerate, but also dropped a condom in front of his son. A man who hates the Del Mar Fair, but loves to dance off beat, much like Will Ferrell in most of his movies. I give you one man who is allergic to grass in all shapes and forms, Joshua Henry Palet.
Wow.
Love it. Love
Wow.
that.
I couldn't even come close to that, bro. Holy.
But that's only one of our guests.
Let's
We
hit
have another
number
one,
2,
right?
please.
Oh,
Can we get
boy.
the second intro?
Holy cow.
It gets better.
And with Mr. Henry Palet, we have his best friend, his confidant, the man who donated sperm for him to be alive, a legend of San Diego radio, a staple in the South Bay coaching community. You've either lost to this man on the field to a team he's coached, or you lost a fist fight to him in the parking lot. I give you the white Suge Knight, the Chula Vista Vincent McMahon, David the Diablo Palet.
It's great.
Yo, huge shout out to Zoe, aka friend Zoe, man. Yo, we had to hit you guys with that one. That was
great.
amazing. So before we get into the conversation, I always like to do some searching on the gram and dive a little bit deeper and get a little bit of pictures for you guys to give us a little bit of context of what was going on here.
Okay.
Josh, last time we had Zoe and Trav, and they had some very peculiar pictures, right? So I thought I'd do some digging and see if I could find someone you, because I don't know, you guys all hang out, right? So let us know what was happening here, bro.
Man. Okay, yeah. So
And it was a reoccurring theme, as I saw.
Yeah. I actually went to the party that night dressed like that, but it was Halloween senior year, and I'm not the only one that dressed up this way. Me and my friends, we all did
guys.
it. Yeah, it was a group decision, but yeah, I'm not proud of that.
All right, Dave, we didn't leave you out either. We went ahead and did some digging, and this was back when you were at Fox Sports, man. Tell us a little bit about what was going on here.
Okay, that was pretty cool. That was when the All-Star game was here in San Diego in 2016, and they let us host Fox Sports radio and TV at the same time. So we were on 3 days in a row leading up into the All-Star game. On Monday, which was the home run hitting contest, the game, and then after the game on Wednesday. And that was, of course, the same studios where you see Mike Pomerantz and you see Mark Sweeney, and if you see all the people in the background that were part of Fox Sports.
Right here.
But that was awesome because Petco Park is right behind us. It was really the center of the sports universe, and during that time, Steve Garvey, who was my favorite player as a kid, joined us on set, and Steve was outstanding. And it's funny, one of the weird things I have in my will is that to be buried in a Dodger white home Steve Garvey jersey.
Let's go.
And then Steve was right next to me. When I told Steve the story, he wasn't impressed at all, and I'm probably going to change my will because I was like, dude, I don't want to be in some guy's jersey. Didn't even care the fact that I'm wearing his jersey for eternity. I was like, I got to find someone who actually likes me, I think, to find a jersey to be buried in. But that was a cool experience, 2016.
What if the only jersey available is a Padre jersey?
You know what, though? I tell you what, my closest friend in all of baseball was Tony Gwynn. Okay. And so if it's Tony Gwynn, I'm 100% fine with it.
There you go.
Makes sense. All right. So I also did another one in the JP25 Media, and I wanted to, bring a little bit more of a context to this and what was going on here. I know it was the first couple of shows you guys did.
Okay, yeah. So me and my boy Braulio, we were trying to see what would work on, JP25 Media, and we're deciding that group photos on dating apps are a trap because you never know which friend you're looking at. It could be the good-looking friend, it could be the bad-looking friend in the group photo. It's Russian roulette. That's what we call it. Instagram Russian roulette.
Hey, no, that's facts. Honestly, don't be catfish out there, guys. Yeah, it'll happen. Exactly. So this next picture is actually of you, Josh, and let us know a little bit about what was happening in this picture and where you were at.
Okay, this is my favorite picture of all time.
Mine too.
You guys did a great job. So this was the Iron Bowl in 2016, Alabama versus Auburn, and I got to run onto the field, and there's 102,000 people in that stadium, and that's my favorite picture of all time because looking back, there's no way that actually happened. And I can't believe I actually had a photo where it looked like it was taken from me.
I'm vibrating.
Dude, I'm getting chills too. So same, that's my favorite picture of all time.
Yeah, almost everybody in that picture is in the NFL right now. I mean, you have Calvin Ridley standing right next to him, but you look around at the names and people with their numbers, it looks like I paid a photographer just for Josh, but he is dead center right in the middle of that picture, which is awesome.
That's the one you blew up and it's in the garage, right?
Yeah. I got actually one in my office in the house, the same picture. It's awesome.
That's awesome. So this next one is for you, Coach Dave.
Okay.
And let's see if you remember this.
I sure do.
Let's go.
I sure do. This is Coach in Eastlake freshman team 2010.
Let's go.
The kid right here who's to the bottom left of the picture, or right, I guess, as you say it, is this guy who I thought for sure was a future major leaguer. I thought for sure. He was an outstanding baseball player. I don't know what you ever say about your athletic career, but man, I was impressed. And I said, this kid right here is going to be a major league shortstop.
Did he have the same hair?
Yeah.
No, definitely not the same hair.
Different hair, but extremely talented. So no matter what he told you, he was better than what he even told you.
It was great playing baseball. Unfortunately, being young and doing stupid things, unfortunately, I messed up some opportunities for myself. But you live and you learn, and we're here now.
Exactly.
So
you'd be big timing us now if you had followed that major league career.
Right.
We'd be lucky to have your number.
But now we're all here podcasting. So
right. So look at that, even better. So getting back into the conversation, how did JP25 Media come about, and what inspired it?
Okay, so during quarantine, me and my dad, we talk all the time. He's my best friend. We're in the house just bullshitting all the time. We said we might as well just turn a camera on. And we're also thinking, this is what our brother would have liked. JP25 Media is after Jake Palet. His initials, JP25 was this baseball number. So we thought, why not just turn a camera on and, bullshit like we always do and do it in Jake's memory?
No, definitely. And what have you guys learned since, just podcasting and having a show, talk show together?
It's been a lot of fun. I've had people reach out to me, especially the show that Josh and I do together, the Good Chatter Show, is people say, they wish they had a great relationship with their dad if they don't. And someone said to me just this morning, they said, what's great about your show is the show is exactly the relationship people wish they had with their fathers. It's now, for us, they're archived. We have them for a long time. You don't know how things are going to work out. As Josh and I know when we lost his brother that, time is short or it can end very quickly. I'm very happy that we have these archived where if, Josh has kids one day, he can show this is the relationship I had with my dad. And for me, they mean the world to me. And the conversations we have are very similar to the ones we have every single day. We talk all the time. Josh will be moving to Nashville, Tennessee in about 6 weeks. And we're still going to end up talking every single day. And we're going to figure out a way to keep the show going. But for me, it just the conversations we have that are now on tape and the fact that people laugh at them and they think it's great and you see the love and the caring that we have for each other is fantastic. I'll be honest with you, I wish I had that relationship with my dad. I didn't. I couldn't be happier that my son's my best friend.
No, that's beautiful to hear. Unfortunately, you know, I had the same relationship with my dad. Unfortunately, he passed away 5 years ago. And, you know, just talking, you know, I learned how to talk, how to be charismatic. I learned everything just from watching him, right, and conversating with him. So that right there, I mean, I admire it a lot. That's beautiful. One of the things I do notice that you guys do different is you guys help other creators basically get going with their shows as well. How did you guys come up with that idea?
Okay, I'll talk about it. So we thought, you know, we want to do our thing, but it would be great if we got other people like Alonzo and Travis and our friend Mark Call, who does a cooking show, to get involved as well, because they always tell us we would love to do something, we just don't have the equipment. Well, we said, well, we have the equipment. If you want to do it, come with us, and they want to improve, which is the best part about it.
Yeah, 100%. I always believe in giving back any way you can. So any way you can help somebody. At the same time, Josh is the one that got me going in this direction, meaning I've done radio for years, the traditional radio. You know, I'd hosted morning shows in San Diego for more than 20 years. I still work for ESPN covering the NFL, and part of that, which I haven't said 100% goodbye to that, but Josh is the one that said, Dad, the future is podcasting. And my radio partner, Jeff, who I still do the show with, the Dave and Jeff show that we do, at first said, I don't want to do that. And I said, this is the way it's going. Well, we've gone from an average, let's say 40,000 listeners per morning show to 2 million people that are now following. And you go, this is the future. And he explained, people don't want to have to get up at 6 in the morning to hear the show. They want to listen to it on their own time and demand listening, demand entertainment. And that's the way it goes. So he was really the inspiration for me to start this route, for us to now do it with video. And Jeff, who I do the show with, won't do it with video, but video is the key. What you're doing right now is really the key. People want to see basically, you know, how the meal is made.
Yeah, no, and how do you feel about being on camera, from not being on camera and just being a voice?
It doesn't bother me at all. Awesome. You know, I used to, be honest, sat on a sports desk for, you know, Fox TV for 10 years. And when I would do television, it seems so different from radio, for the fact in radio, you got 4 hours every day to get off your mind, whatever you wanted to say. Nobody could see you. TV, it took me longer to time my tie than I was actually on there. And you go, well, that's 8 hours you have to be in the TV station, but you're on and off so fast that it just seemed kind of fake. Well, the next day you go out and everybody knows you. Everybody thinks you were talking only to them last night on the news. Well, his younger brother used to hate it. Used to say all the time, you know, this is my time with my dad. Yeah. And people want to come talk to you and everything else. And you have to be nice to everybody. But I understood Jake as a young kid was like, this is my time. You know, let's go. Let's go. I'm sure you remember Jake hated being stuck in a parking lot or at a baseball field where people just wanted to talk about anything. Padres, Chargers, what I said last night on TV. And it became a distraction for the family. And it was easy to say goodbye to that part. For Josh and I to do this, it's not a big deal with the camera. You just basically pretend it's not there.
That's awesome. So for you, Josh, how do you feel about, you know, being a student athlete your whole life and then transitioning over to the, you know, talk show podcast world?
It's weird, dude. I'm naturally a more quiet, laid back person, but being around him and my brother, I would just kind of grew to just, you know, joke around with them. So I said, why don't I just do something different? Why do I make myself uncomfortable? I'm sure when you started this, it was uncomfortable. It was weird, right? Just having these headphones on, hearing your own voice is uncomfortable.
It is.
But it's great for me because it brings me out of my shell. And the best part about it is I get to do it with him. And it being on YouTube and being out forever, it's just so special to me because, like he said, most father and sons don't have that relationship. And I'm just really glad that it can be on camera, and our conversations about girls falling and not being able to get their hands out and hitting their face, stupid stuff like that is just stuff that we're not afraid to talk about in public and put it out.
And it's funny because the stuff that you do talk about, a lot of people think they're just not, you know, how do I say it, down to be like, yeah, no, I think about it the same.
Exactly.
And for me now, like, you know, looking at your guys' relationship, you know, being a father to be, you know, in this next couple of months, like, I can't wait to have that, you know, relationship with my kid and be like, hey, this is how we do stuff. We don't have to, you know, conform to anybody, and you can always reform your life in whatever way you want it to be, you know?
Exactly.
So that's one of the biggest things, just, you know, not being afraid of what you want to do.
You don't have to be a cookie cutter version of everybody else. Do what you want to do, man.
And do it raw. Like, that's one of the things that, like, when I go on here, I'm like, I'm not trying to sound professional. I'm not trying to be like the best spokesperson. I just want to be me.
Be yourself.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
100%.
And JP25 Media, real quick, is we do it off with Jake because Jake was a stand-up comedian.
Oh, he didn't I heard some of his jokes. I got
Jake was the king of zero fucks, dude. And we are people that when we do our show, we just want to talk about what we want to talk about, just like Jake was.
Yeah, no, definitely. So what has been some of the obstacles, you know, building up JP25 Media besides working with Zoe and Travis?
The biggest obstacle for me is getting viewership. You know, when you're getting subscribers on YouTube or getting followers on Instagram, whatever it may be, it's hard to build that organic growth outside of your community. hopefully when I go to Nashville, I can get people from that area, but just getting followers.
But that's the biggest thing, because it allows you to start being more part of your community. How can I, bring value to the community in a way where it's like, I want you guys to listen to me because I have a message ultimately to say, but at the same time, this is for everybody to come and be like a big community as well. So that's amazing.
Absolutely. I've met a ton of people in just the East Lake area. I've been here my whole life, and I've met a lot of people in the last year just by doing JP25 Media.
So where do you guys see yourself within the next couple of years to come?
I'd like to grow the brand. I mean, honestly, I want people to look at us and say, hey, I'd like to be on your platform. We're trying to, we don't want every show to be us. And we've gone out of our way not to make every show about us. As you mentioned, the other people that are part of what we're doing. But we want to give that platform. So many people out there are looking at a situation where, wait a second, I can create my own media content. I just don't know how to get started or where to go. Well, we want to be that landing spot. Basically, we want to be, we'll go, real simple, like ABC TV. They got a ton of shows, and it's not the same actors on every show. And so we want to be the ones that basically are dishing out the information and giving you different content, from cooking show to father son to Zoe and Travis, on and on, gambling shows, everything that we're offering. That, hey, if I go to JP25 Media, I can find exactly something that's going to be entertaining for me.
No, and I definitely see it. You guys have been, growing very fast, and it's just beautiful to see people that I've grown up with my whole life, doing something like this, because it's like awesome. Nobody here in Chula Vista is really doing something like this, let alone at the level that you guys are doing it. So for you guys to be in the same backyard, I'm just like, how do we help each other just, work off each other and, continue to build?
We feel the same way about you, bro.
No,
you have no experience, right, doing any broadcasting stuff?
So when I did this, all I had was an idea that I wanted to, I want to interview, talk to people, learn about what they do and how they do it. And my friend was like, oh, you want to be a psychologist? I'm like, I don't want to fucking go to school. She's like, well, that's the only way you're going to be able to do that. I'm like, no. So I called it a social experiment, where I was like, well, I want to interview people. And then little did I know it was called a talk show, podcast, right? So then I linked up with that guy, and we're here today just continuing to build it. And the best thing is that you never finish building it. It's always something better. It's always, how do I continue to grow it? And it's more than anything a fun ride.
Absolutely.
And especially when you do it with people that you love. Oh my God, that's the best
Makes it that
experience
much better.
you can have. Heck yeah. So over to you, Dave. When did you get started in the talk show industry, and how did you?
You know what? I was always an athlete. So sports was always something that I wanted to do. As far as I wanted to be a pro baseball player. It was probably my best chance of being a pro. I met my wife, Josh's mom, when I was 19 years old at San Diego State. 3 months into dating her, maybe 6 weeks into dating her, we got engaged. And it's kind of like you kind of just knew the one. Well, for me, it was kind of strange that I was playing baseball, and then it went to, here's your choice. You're getting married in January of 92, and in December of 91, the Oakland A's asked me about possibly signing a pro contract. Oh, wow. And in my mind, I had to decide, was I going to chase the Major League Baseball dream, or was I going to get married? And I chose to get married. Well, I get married, and then, a year later, we're pregnant with Josh, and I'm kind of lost. I don't know what to do. I've only had sports in my life, and I was confused. So I was listening to sports radio. I was listening to Extra Sports 690 all the time.
Yeah.
And I did an internship, and I was doing internships at night from 7 o'clock at night till 12 o'clock in the morning. And then I was going to school, and Josh was literally born almost the first day that I did radio. And from there, I was like, I always believe your best chance is to hang around as much as you can if you're interested in things. And one day the phone rang in the radio station. I was the only one there. And it was ESPN saying, hey, is there someone there to cover the Braves-Padres game? And I said, there's nobody here, but I can do it. And then I did reporting for, the network. And I'm doing Padre games. And they go, hey, can you do the rest of the year? You were great.
Oh,
and I did the rest of the year. And I said, hey, who's your Laker guy? They go, we don't have a Laker guy. And I go, I'll drive to LA every day for the Lakers. And I was doing the Lakers, I was doing the Clippers, and then I started doing Chargers. And from there, I became a reporter, just driving back and forth. I'd leave here at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'd come home at 2 in the morning. And I would do this almost every single day during basketball season and do Padre baseball during the summer. But I was in. I was making a name for myself.
Yeah.
But I said, his reporting is great, but I want to be a talk show host. And most people who get into radio want to be a play-by-play guy. I never want to be a play-by-play guy. I just want to be a talk show host. I like kind of pushing buttons, getting reactions, and that's kind of what I still do on Twitter as far as, stirring the pot and getting major reactions. A lot of people spend a lot of time telling me to eat shit because they get so pissed off and they go after me. And I love it because the whole point is, can I get you upset? And I look at it, if I'm hosting a talk show, can I get you upset enough to pick up the phone and call in? And that's the whole goal of that. So doing the talk show took off in 98 when the Padres, I was working at KFMB, was the Padre station. And I was doing all the Padre pre and post game shows. Right. And it was a hell of a ride. You know, it was great. So that was awesome. So I was in, and I did talk shows for over 20 years and still doing talk shows now. And the whole point, though, can I get a reaction? And if I can't get a reaction, guess what? Nobody's listening.
Yeah.
And it's not a matter of people calling. It's, did people repeat what you say? Are they coming up to you on the street even and saying, man, when you brought up this or you did this interview, if I'm getting a reaction, good or bad, one way or another, you're paying attention to what I'm doing and you're spending time. And that's the whole point of doing that talk show.
No, I definitely agree. Like, I feel like there is no bad publicity, because if they're talking about you, that means you excited some feeling inside of them. So if they're even going out to like try to talk to you, I'm like, yo, I'm doing my job.
Oh, yeah. Well, lately, because of Padre baseball and them doing so well, God, I've had, Josh and I went to a Padre Dodger game, went to 2 of them when they were here. People literally would come up to us while we're in our seats, just screaming, flicking us off or yelling F you, or sitting next to us just screaming at me. Excuse me, I'm fighting a cold. And they're sitting there going, how the hell do you come to the game with this guy?
Oh,
and then the last game
awkward.
Dude, what's crazy, the last game we went to, 2 guys followed him into my car and wanted to fight.
Oh, so then Zoe was right. Then you either lost to him in the field or in a parking lot.
So whatever it takes.
So you know, that's kind of a perfect segue, because you know you like to get reactions out of people.
Yes.
We want to get a reaction out of you guys.
Okay.
So we have a little game for you guys. Brian, go ahead.
So it's called Dad Knows Best, right? So we call this game Dad Knows Best because at the end of the day, Dave always is right.
True. I don't know about that.
Josh, you can, try to compete, but right here, you're on your own, buddy.
We're just going to ask you quick questions. You guys have to see who is it? Is it you, Josh, or is it you, Dave?
And feel free to discuss and elaborate on it.
Okay.
I feel like there's going to be some disagreements here, so we'll
see.
Please. Yes.
So, number 1, who has the best Twitter handle?
Well, we just go, Twitter handle, just our names, right?
Or like Twitter account.
Twitter account.
Oh, hands down, he has the best Twitter account. I think he has the best Twitter account in San Diego, in my opinion.
It's funny because, Josh, you do have some tweets there that do go a little bit viral.
Josh is very funny.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what? I don't get enough love for my tweets sometimes. I'm going to throw that out there.
Hey, can we put his Twitter handle right here so people can go and follow?
We can,
please.
You do have some tweets that like take off. Even the tweets that you don't even care about. Remember the Lolitas one?
Yes.
You're like, I don't know why I posted that one. Even I saw, I was like, oh, whatever. I'll just still like it. And next thing you know, I see it's like, what, 150 likes or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, that's good.
I tell you what, I was telling my wife yesterday when I was driving home and he was in a different car. I said, I wish Jake was here because Josh is so damn funny. And he's literally like the funniest guy I know. But Jake was always known for being the really funny guy. Jake was super loud and very fast. And people always say, man, your brain works so quick on smart reactions.
Witty.
He was super quick. But
quick.
Jake was quicker than me. My dad was like that. But Josh has brain works extremely fast. I was telling my wife, I go, wait till you drive cross country with him to Nashville in a couple months, and you're going to realize this kid's brain works crazy fast. He's very, very funny. I don't think he gets credit for how funny he is.
Dad, stop.
He is.
So yeah, you're right. Dave knows best.
See what I mean?
Josh is good. My Twitter, though, will piss you off.
No, he definitely has a better Twitter for sure.
All right, so who was the better athlete in their prime?
I never saw him play. I don't know.
It's him. I saw both of us. It was him.
There it is.
It was him.
Dave knows best, bro.
Dave knows best.
It was him.
This is actually working into Josh's favor.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
I wasn't
shoot.
expecting that, but okay.
I thought I was good. He was better.
So who is the better cook, hands down?
Dude, we both suck ass.
Yeah, we just don't put time into this. Here's my theory on cooking. It drives my wife crazy. If it takes longer to make than to eat, it's not worth it.
100%.
So,
100%.
But at least he'll sit there and go into the kitchen, pull a bunch of stuff out, and he'll put stuff together, and then he'll do the dishes and everything else. I'm like, shit, microwave, 2 minutes, I'm out.
That's how I am. I'm like, babe, can you cook? No.
Yeah.
All right, we're having takeout.
That's where I am. It's like putting gas in a car. That's all I'm eating for. I'm not eating for that. It has to taste good, but it's like, dude, I got stuff to do. I'm just eating so I can move on the rest of my day.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I don't got time to enjoy this. I just need fuel.
Exactly.
All right, so who supports the better sports teams?
Oh, it's me.
Yeah, him. I mean, unfortunately, bro, I love the Padres, bro, but I only have, well, we're both Alabama fans and Laker fans.
Roll Tide.
So
Yes.
the real difference is Dodgers and Padres. And as of recent,
We have rings. You guys don't have. You guys don't have a trophy case with anything in it.
hey, relax.
Hey, those are fighting words.
Yeah, 100%.
So what about this year? Who do you think is going to take
They
it?
won the PCL, right? With the Pacific Coast League.
Yeah, how did that go?
61.
Yeah. And by the way, your hat's throwing me off. It's like, I'm like, am I drinking? Because that ST on your hat is throwing me off.
Whoa, this dip.
Yeah, but it's tough being a Padre fan. I've been in this town for 31 years. All right, and it is tough being a Padre fan. You think about it. You've had 53 seasons to get your shit together, and you guys can't.
Well, we're rooting on this one.
Okay, this is the year.
This is our year.
Literally,
This is our year.
you want to hear something funny? Literally, when they built Petco Park, you could buy those bricks.
Yeah.
And so we bought one of the big bricks, okay? And it says literally on there, wait till next year.
Oh, no.
And people think we're bullshitting about that, but it says it on there. And I keep waiting for to get a note saying somebody broke your brick, because they think I jinxed the whole Padre experience in Petco Park. As long as that brick is there, you're always going to have to wait till
Hey,
next
guys,
year.
it was his fault.
I can't believe the Padres took my money and actually put it in there. Yeah,
No, they took your money. I mean, that's how it was.
they
back in
did.
the day, so.
They did.
So who would you say pulled more girls in their prime?
Oh, it's him, dude. Not
Well,
even
he got
close.
married.
Hey, you know what's funny? You always go like, and he shoots it right back at you.
Got engaged at 19.
Yeah,
I didn't have time.
He left
that
the-
kind of like,
Yeah, he left the party at 8:30. I'm still in the
Yeah,
party.
that's
so
true.
It is what it is. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is single and ready to mingle. Nashville, Tennessee. Get your straddles out because he's on his way. All right. Moving on. Who's the better trash talker?
He is.
am.
He is a great. I mean, you've seen his Twitter account.
Yeah,
He's a great
yeah.
trash
I'm like,
talker. This is the thing. Don't ever get into an argument with somebody that speaks for a living. He speaks for a living. He will just completely emasculate you. Don't ever argue with him.
Yeah.
Ever.
And people always
Yeah.
seem they can't take it to the point where they cross the line. Either they say something that crosses the line or they think they can get physical. They can't.
Well, that's the thing. Like, that's the beauty about being able to speak, right? That if you're able to beat somebody with words, like, they only have one or two things to do. Either, like, want to fight you or they're just going to have to eat it because they got beat the fair way.
100%. Yeah,
There's
exactly.
no way around it. So, who would you say is the better coach?
He is. He has over 100 championships under his belt. I'm just the pitching coach. I'm the assistant under him. We just won the Mason League championship and throw that
Hands
one out
up.
for
Hey,
Bonita
hey,
Vista.
hey,
We beat
hey,
East
hey,
Lake.
hey, hey.
Twice.
They got the number one player in the nation.
I'm
and
not
we
going to
still.
say much about East Lake, but
I mean, we did what we had to do, but he's definitely the way better coach than I am.
I have more experience. In the long run, he might be the better coach. I'll tell you what. We had. I'll pat him on the back. We had two pitchers. Both had ERAs of 0.
Let's go.
And so it's hard to get one pitcher to have ever an ERA of 0. Both our starting pitchers had an ERA of 0 up until a couple days ago.
So how does it feel, like jumping off course a little bit, how does it feel to coach these kids and, be able to instill with them, the confidence that it's not just all about, playing the game, but also having respect for the game?
It's game has changed so much from when I was a kid. I mean, you see all the movies, the Bad News Bears stuff, where the coach is drinking beer and throwing BP, and then all the kids jump into the car and he drops all the kids off. That's the way it was when I was a kid. That's the way I guarantee it was for your dads when
I don't doubt
they
it.
were playing. The guy's literally throwing BP and has a 6-pack by his feet, and it was like that for every coach. And it was brutal. And then you always hear all the time, you aren't kicking the kids in the ass enough. Well, you played for me. I was never that coach. The way I talk right now in this tone is the loudest I ever get. I never yell at a kid. And so I've never met a kid that blew a game on purpose. We try and put them in positions to succeed. If a kid makes a mental mistake, we're the ones that failed him as a coach for not putting him in a position to succeed. It means he didn't learn when we were teaching it to him. It's always the coach's fault on that. And parents believe that. The kids win the games and the coaches lose the games. So you have to have thick skin. But we've seemed to have a lot of success. As you said, I've been lucky enough in baseball to have some good players. But most importantly, they always seem to leave with good childhood memories. And at the same time, we've been lucky enough to win a lot.
No, and I vouch for that. I mean, that year that you coached me, I was like, respect to Coach
Thanks,
Dave.
man. I
Yeah, no,
appreciate
that was
it.
awesome, man. So heading back to this, who's the better podcast host?
Well, I have more experience, I would say.
Well, if there wasn't any,
Yeah.
we're not using the experience card here.
Well, it's the old Malcolm Gladwell. You do something for 10,000 hours,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
going to be an expert. I've done it for more than 10,000 hours. I'm not saying I'm the best at it. I just have more broadcasting experience.
Nice. Who has the better taste in movies?
We're the same.
Yeah, we probably watch all the same movies all the time.
Yeah, and we quote lines back to each other nonstop.
We know every Will Ferrell, Adam Sandler.
All right. Who can chug beer the fastest?
He doesn't drink.
Yeah, I'm not a big drinker.
I don't drink much either.
Alabama
I drink,
games.
I drink more than he does, I guess.
Who can drink a water bottle faster?
Probably him. He's dehydrated all the time.
Probably right. Probably me.
All right, well, this was fun, Marcos. Good
Actually,
stuff, man.
I mean, Dave knows best. Like, he knows best. Like,
That's why he doesn't drink. I'm over here.
Josh
older.
kept looking that way, and he's like, no,
writing
Yeah.
down.
I have more experience on most. He probably has the most important category, the girls one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Depends what's important to whoever's watching.
pretty important.
Put the Twitter handle.
Instagram, phone number.
So, now bringing it back to a more serious tone, we've all, met temporary defeat, but not, complete failure. Talk about a time that you've, hit a point in your life where you wanted to quit, but you didn't.
You know what? That happens all the time. I think it happens to people all the time where you hit a point where you're like, do I need to keep doing this? As I always say, your goal in life is to do things that you want to do. As I used to say all the time, you have to have FU money, meaning I don't want to do it. Fuck you. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And I remember getting to a point, and it didn't have to do with the money. It just happened to be where I was like, and I had kids early. I met my second son by the time I was 27 years old. And I was like, I've done a lot of things in my life that I didn't want to do, whether that's, going to, Sunday school, church, whatever, going to college, stuff that isn't fun stuff, but you have to kind of knock out. And then I was like, I'm not going. And I'll get like invitations in the mail, unfortunately, like to weddings. If I didn't show up to your wedding, here's the answer. I didn't want to go, and it sounds terrible to say that, but you only get a certain amount of time and a certain amount of days. And I literally try and make decisions on doing things that I want to do. Mm-hmm. And there are certain things that you do show up for. The thing is, if you show up in life, you're going to be successful, meaning you show up to work, you show up to school, you show up for your family, you're going to be successful. You just got to show up. But in my mind, as I get older and older, I only try and do things that I want to do. And people can say that's selfish all they want, but man, it's my life, so fuck off.
True.
I agree 100%. Like a lot of, when I first started this, my parents were kind of like, well, what are you doing? And then I showed them like, I'm passionate about this. I love doing this. My passion is to connect with people and be able to really understand who they are, what they are, and how they are, After a while, I realized that, if I just follow my passion, things will align for me. And thankfully it has. So moving forward, Josh, sports is, a big thing in your guys' family, How influential has sports been growing up?
I think sports is everything, man. Because sports is like, you're an athlete, is you learn life lessons, how to be part of a team, how to respect others, how to win. I think being competitive in a sporting event is just like life. You want to be competitive with podcasting, right? You want to be competitive in your job. If you're in the sales team, you want to have the most sales.
Yeah.
I think sports prepares you for the rest of your life. And I'm so thankful I played sports throughout my life.
No, and that's one of the biggest things that growing up, like I want my kid to be able to try sports, learn what it is to play with other people and know that team camaraderie and be like, hey, like, if we work together, we could accomplish a goal, right? Because like you said, it all trickles down in life, the same thing. If you're able to communicate, you're able to work together, you're going to accomplish more things than, being just closed-minded in my way is always the best way.
100%. It translates for the rest of your life.
I tell people all the time, if you can't play as a team, go pick up golf. Go wrestle. Go to Shakey's with your mom and dad and talk about how great you were. But there's nothing like going out with a team and celebrating a win.
Yeah. No, there's nothing like it. So, talking about team, right? You and your dad are a team, right? So what's some of the, difficult stuff that happens when you guys are co-hosting, if any? And, is there any obstacles that you guys kind of like, work through?
I'll be honest, there are none.
No, that's a good answer.
Here's the deal. Neither one of us have egos. And everyone will say, that's bullshit. Somebody has an ego. Yeah, we want to do well, but I want him to do well. He wants me to do well. We never, I think, ever leave and go, oh, you're talking too much, or, how about giving me a shot? I think the only thing we ever even talk about in our show, because we really don't edit, is we say, hey, you want to open the show? That's about it. Or I'll say, hey, you open the show, you promote the other shows on JP25 Media. And that's it. It's never, hey, you do it this time, or hey, you spoke too much in that last show. You leave some mic time for me. We've never had that.
Marcos, you taking notes, bro?
That's what I'm writing down right now.
We get done. All right, Brian, I'm gonna need you to sit down here, please. Here's what you need to work on.
Well, also going back to your team thing, like I've always worked as a team. That's what I love doing. Obviously, it's just us two, but we do have some people that support us as well. My favorite thing is that after we debrief, we always talk about everything. Okay, what did you do here? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Kind of reminds me of baseball, Little League, where the coach would take you out to the outfield and you'd talk out there all the time.
Yeah.
Or after a soccer game, they'd also talk to you during halftime to talk to you after. But that reminds me of all that. That's why I love having communication. That's why I like talking about everything. Yeah. So for me, I see the team effort in everything that I do. I don't know how people could play golf and just like focus on themselves. It's kind of weird. I don't know.
No, you got it. Yeah. And there's always ways to get better. You can't get your feelings hurt. If you're going to sit there and go through and you guys are going to analyze shows, you can't sit there and say, oh, that was perfect. It's never perfect.
No.
Never.
Just go, how can it be a little bit better next time? You're always trying to fine tune. There's not a person out there that's 100% happy with what they're doing. You hear actors all the time that will say, I never watch my films because it makes me nervous, that I should have done this different or done that part different. And we're looking at a Tom Hanks or Denzel watching and going, oh my God, man, I completely forgot I was watching those guys as actors. I completely fell into the character. And for them, they don't even watch their own stuff because they want to be perfectionists. Everybody is.
Do you watch your old stuff?
I never do.
Oh my God, thank you.
I never do. I never do. And I tell you what, there's nothing worse, as they say in radio, an air check. And then when your boss calls you in and plays back a segment, and you just cringe because number one, you're about to be criticized. Two is you're going to hate it anyway. So no, I never go back and listen to anything I've done.
No, I agree with that. And Marco's, I only watch it sometimes when I had a lot of fun in the way that the conversation went and there was funny jokes and we were just cracking up. I like to go see that. But when I talk, I'm like, it was in the moment. I did it right now and it was then. That's what I said at that point. So moving forward, I might say something different and might think different than what I said at that moment. But at the same time, it's like, I just keep moving forward.
And also, I think it's a lot like you were a little bit more vulnerable during that time when everyone was talking, and you kind of don't want to watch that over. You're like, ooh, keep my little persona going. Like, okay, let's keep going. There's a lot to do with a lot of different things.
Yeah, and a lot of the thing is like, for me, it's like I like watching it, but it goes back to that cringe factor. A lot of people are like, oh no, you said it good, but I'm like, I still think it's cringy as fuck. So it's like I don't care what you tell me, like I still think otherwise, and I rather just not even do that and just people liked it. Great. Let's go on to the next one. So the next question I have is, I wanted to open up the discussion for you guys and speak a little bit about Jake's project, right? We did a little research about what it was about. And I wanted to, ask, mental fitness is almost as important as physical fitness in sports, What advice would you give to young players and any players for that matter of how to deal with their mental stress when they're, inside that game or playing sports?
I'll let you go first.
How important is mental fitness? I think mental fitness is, like you said, more important than physical fitness. If you're not mentally ready to go out there and compete or just in life, go about your everyday life, you're not going to do well. You saw the tennis player, I'm going to mess up her name, but Naomi Osaka, she just had to drop out of her event because mentally she wasn't there. I think in Jake's situation, he went through a lot. And at the end of his life, he was fighting to go in the right direction. But Jake mentally wasn't where he wanted to be. Physically, if you looked at him, he's a big, strong kid, about 6'3", 285, could bench.
Put some hurt on a lot
could
of
bench
people.
like 500 pounds. But mentally, he wasn't as strong as he was physically, and it made a difference.
Yeah, Josh is right about Jake. I mean, as you said, you look at him, he was the size of an NFL offensive lineman. I mean, he was a big dude, extremely strong, and when he walked in a room, he had a presence. Well, inside, he wasn't that strong. It's funny, I realized it when both these guys were young. They're 5 years apart in age, and if you looked at the two, you would have said the tougher one was Jake. Well, physically, he was stronger. But I remember going, as I coached these kids, coached both of them, being around them, you could make Jake cry. I could, at least. I could say something to hurt his feelings and make him cry. He's impossible to break. And mentally, he's the toughest one I know. But Jake, as big as he was, inside was very, very sensitive. So as we're around kids all the time, and unfortunately, especially over the last few years, I've noticed that, which is a good thing, the part that it's not a weakness to admit that you're suffering.
Not at all.
And to do a mental check with people and say, you okay, you good, is big. And LaMarcus Aldridge from the Spurs and the Nets came out and said today he's battling depression and he had to walk away. And here's a guy that has everything, NBA star, millions of dollars, never has to worry about a dime. He's battling depression. You never know what people are going through.
Yeah.
And back in the day, people would say, you tough it out. You just get up every day and you tough it out and don't share your weakness. Don't let anybody know. You don't need to tell anybody if you aren't ready to talk, but at the same time, I think it's good, as we always say, check up on your friends.
Yeah.
And, we're around kids all the time in high school and even younger than that we got away from, at one point during our season this year, of wins and losses, but telling every coach, you need to check in with every kid every day.
Yeah.
Just how are you doing? You doing okay? That's it. You don't need to say mentally you okay. Nobody wants to be put on the spot. No. Yeah. But are you okay? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because as we have found out, usually they aren't okay. Yeah, and not everyone's not okay, but you'd be shocked that it's more than 50% of the people are not okay.
Yeah.
We've had some terrible things.
Do you think this is going to change maybe coaching when it comes to professional athletes, as far as, when you're a coach, you have to go through the licenses, you have to go through all this, but now let's add another thing, which is being kind of a psychologist, but not really a psychologist. Do you think it's going to change for coaches?
It's already started to change. Meaning, if you're a baseball fan, okay, and you hear sabermetrics all the time, that the computers are running the game, which is 100% true. I have friends that are major league managers now, and I've asked about the interview process and how it's worked. Like, the fact that the Chicago White Sox brought back an old guy like Tony La Russa is insane. And we knew it was going to backfire. Everybody knew it was going to backfire. For the White Sox are what baseball is right now. Baseball is run by computers. When a manager walks into his office, the lineup's on his desk. It's not, man, I got a feeling today that Profar is going to be great. It's not that. The computer will tell those guys what the lineup is, and you follow the lineup, because the computer will show that they know better than what the manager's feeling is. The thing is, the manager usually is brought on to do those kind of mental checks. He is the psychologist. And I used to ask guys that played for Bruce Bochy and go, what made Bruce such a good manager? They go, he went to all 25 guys every day and would say, how you doing? How's your wife doing? How are your kids doing? Or what's new? He goes, the fact you checked in on all 25 guys every day, you wanted to run through a brick wall for him. And it has changed a lot. Aaron Boone, who's a friend of our family, has told us the same thing. He got that job with the Yankees, which is the first time he's ever managed anything. He's never managed a T-ball team. Was basically, are you a sabermetrics guy? Will you follow what we tell you? And can you be that basically team psychologist to walk in and run this clubhouse? And the answer was yes. And he started off as the most successful manager, wins and loss wise, from the Yankees in history, which is amazing.
True.
No, that's crazy. And the way I look at it, like for me, my mentor upstairs, right? He's not my boss. He's my mentor, because he teaches me not how to do the business, but how to mentally stay in the game to be able to do the business. He's like, you could do the business on your own. You're going to learn. But mentally, you have to put yourself in this mindset. You got to do this in order to be able to succeed. So for me, having that, that coach, that motivator behind me, believing in you and giving you that energy that, hey, you can do this. I believe in you because you believe in yourself already. I think that goes a long, long way with especially in sports.
Yeah.
So what would you guys, advise for, people following their passion, whether it's sports, whether it's media, whether it's, being a creator, when you don't know if you're going to continue to go that route, but you believe in it, what advice would you give them?
I always tell people, find what your passion is. I mean, a lot of people don't have one, I mean, I'll be honest with you. My wife hasn't found what is her passion, and she's over 50 years old now. I think she's 51, and she doesn't know that one thing that makes her happy. She's a director in a school district, is very successful at what she does, is on her way to completing her doctorate. She doesn't have that one thing like Josh and I have with sports, which is a passion. And we've talked about this for years, and she hasn't found that one thing. Her one thing, I think, has turned into her family. She throws herself into the family, but to me, it's kind of sad that you can't figure it out. I knew at 4 years old, sports is my thing. She hasn't figured out what that one thing is that drives you every single day. I think it's important that everybody has one. The one passion doesn't have to be what we're doing now. Could be dancing, could be singing, could be whatever. And if you aren't a great singer but you love singing, so what? You're singing for yourself. It doesn't matter how great you are. You don't need to be published.
Or if you're like dancing and dancing off beat, it's okay. It's okay, bro.
Screw it.
Do it.
That's why they have showers, so you can sing in the shower, dance in the shower,
exactly.
There you go.
No, but I follow big on that one, because for me, I always knew that I wanted to talk to people. I love making friends. That's like my hands down, my favorite thing to do, right?
So true.
So then I realized, like, how do I do this in a way that I can actually make a living off of it? For a long time, I had no idea, but I knew that that's what I wanted to do. So after trying a whole bunch of shit that I didn't like, I kind of fell into like,
that's how it works.
This is how it works, guys. And I feel like that's what people don't, grasp on, that they feel like right off the bat, they're going to have to hit it out of the park, right? Like, oh, I just did this. This is going to be my passion. You're going to have to go through some stuff, and you're going to have some falls and, get back up. And you're going to realize like, oh, I went through all that just to get right here where I'm at.
Absolutely. Everybody has their own path in all different ways. Yeah.
So we're going to get into one of my favorite parts.
Let's talk about, there's an event that goes on, right? For Jake.
I'll let him speak on this.
We started a foundation. It's under it goes by Jake's Projects. You can check out the website jakesprojects.org, and we always take donations on that site.
We'll make sure.
But the idea through jakesprojects.org is to raise money for families of kids that can't afford to play sports. And so if you look at the fees that it costs to even register for baseball, football, basketball, whatever, and it doesn't have to be boys sports. We also do it for other sports as well. So the whole idea is to give kids an opportunity to play. And Jake loves sports, and he loved coaching. At the end, Jake was coaching with me, and we were helping put kids in college and give them college scholarships. And he was all in, and his team is still competing now. Actually, the group of kids that he had are basically juniors and seniors in high school now, as we're trying to get those kids through college as well. But it's to help those families out that can't afford to register. As simple as it is. Like when I played Little League baseball, it was $22 to register. Now, last time I remember, like Eastlake Little League, it's almost $300. It's almost $300, and it's a very expensive. Some families can't afford it, and we're here to help out, and we're trying to do it through Jake's name. As Josh mentioned, we've been very lucky as coaches to win a lot. As great as those championships are, and I have more than 100 plaques hanging up in my garage, nobody has ever knocked on my door and said, "Can I see your plaques?" Nobody gives a shit. None of my games were ever on SportsCenter. Nobody cares.
Yep.
Those are memories we have with those kids. So my point is, when I coach and the next season would come around, my biggest joy came from getting the list of kids that were trying out the next year. And I wanted to see, did all 12 kids that I coached the year before sign up again to play? Because if they did, that means that they had a good time. Mm-hmm. And that was what was most important to me. So as we say all the time through Jake's Projects, we're doing our best to create great childhood memories. And it's very important. Your childhood's very fast, but you're going to remember your childhood. And we want to make sure that the kids have an opportunity to be with friends, as we talked about, teammates, competition, and you don't have to be an all-star, but that you're part of something. And it's seasons are only like 3 months long. Yeah. But at the same time, the reason you aren't playing is because you can't afford it, that's what Jake's Projects is for. And we did it in Jake's name, of course, because he loves sports.
Some of my favorite memories have been from when I was little, playing Little League, but playing soccer. And, I still have those friends. I still see them all the time.
Some of my best friends came from sports.
And how many of your stories aren't about the wins and losses? They're always about something funny that happened.
Something that happened, something when you're traveling, something. Of course, no, that's exactly how it has to be.
Always.
Austin Ortiz getting kicked out of practice every day. Oh my God. Blowing up. Dish, Toby. Oh man, there's so many memories, and it's beautiful to just.
Do you remember everyone on that team? Do you remember every single player on that team?
Yeah, if I look at their faces, yes.
All right, let's do it. Go
on. All right, so we got Esteban, Diego, Coach Dave, Coach Person. That was Coach Spencer Jeffries, right? Yeah. Austin, Blake, Dish.
Spencer,
I don't remember his name, but I knew we called him Dish.
Tony Jeffries. Yeah.
Tavares, Anthony, Austin Van Vlahusen. I was gonna mess that one either way. Roman, Jose, Jacob, J Train shouts out, Joel, Javi, the best haircut guy in the world. Ooh, Cody, Johnny, Mark, and me.
Josh, I feel like he was making up names. Is that true? Yeah,
no, he's right. He's right.
Okay.
That was impressive.
A lot of it was like Mark, Cody.
He's like, you just coming up with this? That one looks like a Santiago.
Yeah, he just starts naming guys on the Padres.
Yeah, exactly. Benito Santiago.
Oh, man. All right, Marcos, let's get into the lightning round, bro. Definitely. But go ahead and say it, because I always mess it up, bro.
He does. All right, so what we're going into is the lightning round. Josh, you kind of know what this is about. We ask you a series of questions where you give us some questionable answers. We'll see what we guys could come up with.
All right. Question number 1. Should Barry Bonds be in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I agree.
Quick answers, right?
Yeah. I mean, it could be quick.
Yeah, real quick. You can elaborate. I love that.
He never tested positive for anything.
They're never quick. They're never quick. We say lightning round, but never quick.
Yeah, he never tested positive. I mean, that's like giving someone a speeding ticket and I didn't see the guy go over 55.
Ooh, that's a good argument,
Good
bro.
point.
That's
great point.
All right, question number 2. Where is the worst place you could get stuck?
Like
oh no!
Wait,
get stuck where?
Yeah, get stuck.
That's open for interpretation.
That's open,
whatever you want to say.
Wherever you don't want to get stuck at, that would suck.
There's a bunch of places you don't want to get stuck.
I've
right?
seen that movie, right? Get stuck in a traffic jam. Sure.
Let's go with that.
Yeah, go with that.
There are a bunch of places.
Yeah.
Stuck at a murder site, anything. You name it. I don't want to get stuck anywhere.
Stuck in a bad conversation. Yeah.
That's
true.
the worst,
Yeah.
bro. You're just gonna get me out of here. All right, question number 3. What is the only team in the NFL to neither host nor play in the Super Bowl?
Cleveland Browns.
There we go.
I didn't even know that one.
Yeah.
Is he right?
Yeah, he's right.
Hey,
Yeah.
Dave's always right.
I think it's never had played in, kind of gave it away. I should have just stuck with, and it hasn't hosted. So, actually, no, neither, because there's a lot of teams that haven't hosted either, so it doesn't matter.
Wow, Marcos, you learned something.
There we go.
He knows everything, dude, honestly.
He does, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Who's going to win the World Series this year?
Dodgers. Same team
We'll
as
come
last
back
year.
to that one.
What does Vegas say? Vegas is in a business to lose money.
Don't do this. Don't do this.
What does Vegas say?
do
Can
this.
I get a fact check, research and development?
Well, we are in 60 games into the season now.
Yeah,
Technically, they could win the World Series. I mean, last year they won in 60 games.
That's true.
so-
You know what's sad is that the Padres had the same opportunity but didn't.
Oh,
do it.
damn, there's like
here we go.
freaking
None of the
rows,
teams outside the
bro.
Dodgers had a chance too, but
So-
we're the only ones who are able to win that Mickey Mouse championship. Sad.
Woo. All right, question number 4. Did you guys get hot? I get really hot here. All right, which athlete has the best nickname of all time?
Ooh.
Oh, easy. It's Magic Johnson. Really? Magic Johnson? Pff, it's easily the best name.
All right,
and
Josh,
porn name.
I want to know what you think.
Dude, as a kid, I thought Dr. J was just sick. Like
Dr.
being the
J's
doctor,
sick.
like operate on the floor. Like I thought that was a really cool.
But hold on. Even if a girl doesn't know basketball and you're telling your name is Magic Johnson, dude, you're getting laid.
Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
Yo.
You're insane?
Your name's Magic?
Yeah.
Johnson.
Yeah.
All right, I want to see what that is.
Mine's just relatable because my favorite is Pudge Rodriguez.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just because he related with me, So
You're a catcher. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So I
Yeah.
just like the nickname Pudge.
I'm just looking at getting girls after the game, and I'm just saying Pudge
get it.
isn't getting laid.
Can't get him with Pudge.
Yeah,
Can't get him with
call me
Pudge.
Pudge because I'm
Can't-
heavy.
yeah.
I'm going to throw Big Poppy in there or Tease.
Big
I like
Poppy's
that
a good
one.
one.
Big Poppy's
That's
a
solid
good one, man.
That's a good one.
You could get places with
I like
that,
that
you
one.
know?
Yeah, Poppy's not bad. I
All
like to
right.
be Poppy.
By the way, when I'm a grandfather, I'm going to be Big Poppy. That's what I already told my wife. They go, "What are you going to call you, Grandpa?
Big
What are you going to call him?" I go, "No,
Poppy.
Big Poppy."
Big Poppy, let's go.
I can see it.
Josh, no pressure, man.
Hey, whatever he wants, man.
No, bro. All right, question number 5. When was the last time you cried?
Shit.
I cried like last week. I cry all the time on the way home, like just listening to music. Not because I'm like sad, just because I'm
Dude,
like this.
you know
music.
why you're starting to cry now? Because you're about to have a kid.
Oh, don't even go there. I will start crying.
Dude, everything
That's why.
changes once you become a dad. It's really weird. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I can't tell me I'm sitting there going, E60s. I'm sitting there doing this. Going, what the hell's going on? I'm watching ESPN and I'm tearing up. Happens all the time. Once you have a kid, everything changes. It's strange.
I can't wait. Honestly, it's a blessing, and I'm so excited for it. I'm going into it with such a happy attitude because I felt like it was a God-given, blessing where I'm in a place in my life where I'm able to have it, where I'm not stressing
Yeah.
or what I'm gonna do. Like, no, I'm like confidently going into it because I'm so excited to be a dad and just teach this kid a new mindset, and just build them up and see what he does in the world and whatever he does.
He or she. You don't know what it is
Well,
yet.
Saturday we're actually gonna, do the gender reveal. So
So
we'll
what do you-
know.
what-
Are you doing a gender reveal?
Yeah, we're
Holy
gonna-
shit.
How you gonna do
We're
it?
gonna burn down the whole East Lake, ladies and gentlemen.
What do you guys gonna think? Boy or girl?
Boy.
Boy, I do.
Let's go.
Do you have a name
Okay,
picked
boy.
out if it's a boy?
We do, but for purposes that I
Yeah,
want to sleep
I wouldn't
inside
say
the
it.
bed today,
Yeah, I
I
wouldn't
don't
say it.
want to say it, okay?
How you gonna do the gender reveal? Like you're gonna hit the baseball or what are you gonna do?
So we have this, we're going to probably pop champagne. It's going to either go blue or yellow.
Oh, nice.
He's so set on blue that he doesn't even know what the other color is.
Aladdin King? Yeah, yellow.
You're so set on boy that you don't even know what the color for the girl is, huh?
Is it pink?
It's pink. It's pink.
Yeah.
Watch me get a girl.
Have you thought of a girl's name?
Yeah, we have
Okay,
both.
you
We
have both
have them
names
both
ready to
ready,
go.
but
How hard was it to figure out what you were going to do on the names? Did you guys disagree or you go right away?
so we had a list. We wrote down the list and we kind of just kept scratching them out until we kind of got to one where we're like, well, I like this one. I like this one too. Well, maybe.
There you
And then
go.
we'll see game time decision if it does,
I'm excited, man.
Pencil Jr.
When we picked his name, because my wife's family is very religious, my mother-in-law is like, you got to come up with a Bible name, and I was like, Snake is in the Bible. Do you want me to call him Snake? And then we ended up with Joshua because it means close to God. And then literally I picked the name Jake for his brother because I thought it was a good name to get him laid in a bar one day.
Wow, Josh, is there facts to this?
This is true, bro.
This is true.
This is true. If you go with Junior, your kid's name would be BJ, by the way. I don't know if you want that. You know, going out there.
I know a BJ.
You do know BJ?
Yeah, Brendan Ward. That's how BJ. All right, moving on to what was the last time you guys cried though?
Probably thinking about my brother a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Actually, no joke. Thinking about Jake right after the East Lake game.
Yep.
No, that honestly, even like for me, when I lost my best friend Christian, I still cry about it all the time because he was like my brother. Like honestly, and I'll share this because I'm open about it. Like I cried more for Christian than I cried for my dad.
Yeah.
Because of the influence and the bond that we had together, which was amazing. And it was like if he had $5, we both had $2.50.
Yeah.
So that for me was just a big loss. And to this day, I carry this around and it's his cross with his ashes inside, right?
Love it.
So wherever I go, I never take this off. I just always keep it on, and I feel like he's always like just guiding me. So
I love that, dude.
Yeah,
I love that.
Big angel, and I love that guy, man. So, all right, moving on to question number 6. Josh, what's the biggest secret you've ever kept from your parents?
All right, bro.
All right, damn.
It's a secret that I don't know about.
Is it well, he ended up finding out, so I could tell
So
that
now
story.
the vault's open.
Yeah, I'll
All
tell you what happened. So my senior year of high school, it was his anniversary with my mom, obviously, and they went to like sea level or some shit. And my neighbor was out of town. I was supposed to watch the house, and I had a party.
Oh, I think I was there.
You were there.
Oh yeah.
Everybody was there.
Yeah, it was.
You guys fucked this up, just so you know. You shouldn't have put it on social media.
We were young. We were dumb.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say whose name it was, but she put it on Instagram. Fucked it all up. But it was like 150 people in this house, bro, and it got out, and I got told on, and I got fucked over.
Yeah, we were he was supposed to be watching the neighbor's dog, and all of a sudden, there's 150 people in this person's house.
Was the dog there?
The dogs were.
Oh, the dog was dead, bro.
Oh my god! And then all of a sudden, our phones ringing like crazy, and it's the family of the house who owns the house going, "There's a big party in our house right now," and we're like, "What are you talking about?" And then they're like, "We're at Disneyland, and we're watching this party at our house," and we had to leave and go home and go, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
Like there's a kid passed out in the backyard in a Speedo.
Yeah, face first and dog shit.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. I had to drive him home face first and dog shit in my car like this.
You did this to yourself.
Yeah.
Buddy.
Wait, follow up question. Zoe mentioned in your intro something about a condom falling in front of a family. Can we talk about that?
Okay, yeah. So sophomore,
I didn't want you to say that, but okay.
sophomore year of high school, quiet kid, and Tamara, my friend, she's like the best looking girl in the
She
grade.
won the best physique in high school. I remember
And
that.
she deserved it. You know?
Yeah.
She looked like she was 30 years old in 7th grade.
Facts, bro.
You know,
Yeah.
I got baited and asked her to homecoming. So at homecoming, I'm scared shitless. I can't talk to her. She's next to me. And she says, "You have money for the restaurant we're going to?" I go, "Yeah." For some stupid reason, I pull out my wallet and a condom falls right on her mom's foot, bro.
Oh, no.
Dude, right on her mom's foot. And I don't see it. And I'm showing her, "Oh, I got a 20, I got a 20. She's like, "Pick that up, pick that up." I'm like, "Pick what up?" Right on her mom's foot. I pick it up, put it back in my wallet. And my mom is just shooting daggers at me as she's taking pictures. I'm like, "I'm sorry."
Dude, those pictures still exist?
Fuck yeah, they still exist.
Can you send it over so I can use it for the
Yeah,
podcast?
bro. Yeah, please. This is great content, bro.
That's starting off the podcast.
Oh, yeah. All right, question number 7. What is your biggest fear?
Ooh, failing. If I go towards something and I put all my effort and I don't succeed, then that's my biggest fear of not succeeding. What about you?
Oh, if something happens to Josh is my biggest fear. I've already been through it once. He's my last strike.
Hey, man.
There you go.
God bless, man. All right, question number 8. If you were to name your own song, what would you name it?
That's a good question.
Wait, what? Son or song? What did you
Song. But I guess son works too. I mean,
I already know my son's first name, Mijo.
Mijo Palet.
I was always tempted when I did the draft at East Lake Little League to go with the first pick. I take Mijo because everybody says Mijo all the time, right? When you're how many times you play Little League baseball?
Mijo, ven para allá, Mijo.
That's all you ever hear out of the stands nonstop.
A song? Shit. Drop a condom.
Drop a
Drop a
condom.
condom.
All right.
Yeah,
Good life.
Good life.
Good life.
There you go, life.
Nice. All right. Question number 9. What's the strangest thing that you've ever fallen in love with?
Wow. These are good questions.
Spam and rice.
Oh, that's funny.
I like spam and rice.
Yeah. But sorry.
Strangest thing I've fallen in love with.
It's It's my. It was my dog, Sugar, the one who passed away last June. I love that dog. That dog, as many times as I walked in the house and either Josh was pissed at me, Jake, or my wife were pissed at me, that dog loved me no matter what. And I was like, there's a time where I'm like, this dog's the only thing that loves me. That dog was the best, you know. And so no, it's funny. People I know who fall in love with their pets and would do anything. Dogs are great. I would say the two best things God ever created are moms and dogs. They'll always put unconditional love and always put you ahead of them every time.
Oh, I love my dog. We just got a dog this year, a Wheaton Terrier. His name's Thor. He's just a huge fluff ball, and oh my god, I get home and I'm just kind of like, come here, I just want to squeeze you.
Dogs are the best.
I get all vulnerable. I don't care. I'll be a little bitch and hug. Where's my dog at?
Name something else besides a dog or a mom that will put you ahead of them every time.
You know, my boss always says that, if we get home from a long shoot or something, he goes, every time I get home, I don't really care that my kids don't say hi or my wife doesn't care. My dogs are the first ones there to greet me, and they start barking, and I forget that my kids didn't say hi. And it's okay, and I'm okay with that. Yeah. So I agree with the dog part, yeah.
Yeah, dog's a man's best friend, hands down. Hands down. All right, question number 10. What's your favorite pizza topping?
Ooh. Dude, I'm a weirdo. I like olives, bro.
Ooh, you are
yeah,
weird, bro.
I'm a weirdo. I like black olives.
Ooh. Are we done here?
Are we done?
We're counting that sauce and cheese already with it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sausage.
Okay, yeah.
See, that's a good answer right there.
I like it. That's good.
Dave's always right, bro.
It's popular in the movies.
All right. Question 11. What would be the creepiest thing you could say while passing a stranger on the street?
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's a good question.
I fucked your mom.
Nice penis.
Oh my god, that's creepy. Yeah, that's not going to top that one. That's we'll just stop right there.
You've done that one before.
We'll stop right there. I can't beat that one.
Yeah,
that's as good as it goes.
Question number 12. What are some fun and interesting alternative to war that?
Give it to me. Give it to me.
Sometimes I don't understand your writing. We should type these.
No, it's because I write them right now. As I'm listening to your conversation, I try to see, okay, what are some questions you guys are going to be cool with? What are some fun and interesting alternatives to war that countries could settle their differences with?
Dance battle.
Oh. Yeah. And it has to be offbeat though, like whoever does it the best.
Yeah, and Israel versus Palestine dance battle. How sick would that be? How sick would that be?
White chicks.
Yo.
Yeah, I think we're onto something. Dude. World peace could be done a better way, guys. There's a better way.
We should hit up the ambassador and say, let's see what they say.
Yeah, after the show, we'll make it happen.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. We got this.
Cool.
Oh my
should we
god.
just wrap it?
There was a comedian that used to say the way you stop war is you just have a plane fly over and just drop M&Ms because you can't fight when M&Ms are coming out of the sky.
Oh, it's chocolate.
If they're lactose intolerant, you just started a war.
That's true.
All right, question number 13, the last one before we actually get to the last one.
Yeah. Good save.
All right, thank you, bro. What set of items could you buy that would make the cashier super uncomfortable?
What, like assortment of items?
Yeah. Like, why are you buying this?
Alcohol and razor blades? Like, what the fuck's going on here? You know?
I think the funniest thing to buy at one time would be condoms and Gatorade.
I'm gonna need these two after.
I was thinking like a rope or something like that. You're about to like tie someone.
Handcuffs and shit.
Dude, that's funny. I was at Lowe's a couple weeks ago, and I was buying chains for the baseball field to tie something to the baseball field. And I asked the guy for help, and he comes over and I said, "Hey man, how many of these chains do you think it would take to sink a body?" And he's like, "What?" I go, let's say 250 pound, 240 pound man. How many chains do you think I would need? And dude, he freaked him out. I was like, dude, I'm completely fucking with you. It didn't matter. I swear to God, he went and followed me all the way to my car and called the cops. He thought I was literally going to sink a dead body.
I love how you sold it to him. Like, bro, he's 250 to 300 pounds. Like, you in or you out? Like, excuse me, sir.
And while we're on the topic conversation, what's the depth at Otay Lakes? What do you do?
You think we could do it? Yeah. All right. All right, so we're here at the last question, and this last question, I'm going to say it, and you guys have to repeat it and fill in the blanks, right? But before I say the question really asks you guys to dig deep inside of you, right? And really, portray in words why you do what you do and where you get your energy from, right? So I'm going to go ahead and say the question. You guys got to repeat after me, and we'll go with you first, Josh, and then go over to Coach Dave. My name is blank, and I get my energy from...
My name is Josh, and I get my energy from making people happy. My brother was all about making people happy, and once he died, I wanted to change my life and be less about myself and more about making other people happy.
That's what it's all about, bro. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's easy. My name is Dave, and I get my energy from creating good memories for people.
That's it. And before we sign off, is there anything else you guys want to say to the audience? You know,
I appreciate you guys having us on and giving JP25 Media some love.
Hell yeah.
We love what you guys are doing, and
Likewise, bro.
I appreciate you having us. I don't know if you have anything else to add.
No, you guys have been a huge help to us. I mean, not only do we have a friendship and a connection that is great off the air, but you guys have been a tremendous help in helping us with JP25 Media and doing what we're trying to do in Josh's brother and my son's name.
Heck yeah, that's what
Yeah,
it's all
you know,
about.
we're super excited. Like, I've gone to a couple of shows already, try to help out as much as possible, and now you got the roadcaster, so everything's gonna go up from now. So obviously everyone's sticking together.
We're gonna steal your mics next.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Later on, hey, what type of cameras, lights? Like,
and then can we get Marcos?
no.
All right.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for another episode of the Energy Podcast. Just want to say thank you to everybody, and like always, if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you go onto the YouTube, smash the subscribe button so you never miss a dose of the energy. This has been episode 52. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.
They go player like Fernando Tatis, La Jolla my beach. I wrap up the piece. Real support just ain't a retweet. Girls peepee when they see me. I hit a 3-peat. I always want peace, but life give us what? Life could get hectic. Stay solid for show. Started with some dirt trying to pay.